All right, guys, good morning. Welcome to the show. We got a big one planned today. I didn't expect it to start like this, but it did. Smash the like and subscribe button. Make sure you let me know how the audio is right now. And more importantly, if you have family members in the Middle East, if you have family members in the military, I would love to know exactly where they're at. Maybe put their names in the chat so that we can share their information and obviously say a prayer for these. Audio's perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's good to know. Let me know what you think about everything that's happening right now in the chat, because I believe what we're seeing is pretty insane. Because I don't believe Iran has ever lost a negotiation. I don't believe Iran has ever lost a let's just jump right into this. I tell you, this is Donald Trump speaking. I want to say about 3 o'clock in the morning that he was talking. Here, let's roll this.
Short time ago.
Let's really roll it. Let me grab some audio here. Oh, here we go. Output. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll get some audio going. Perfect.
The United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels and international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon. That is why in Operation Midnight Hammer last June,
Are you aware that there are American citizens right now calling for Iran to get a nuclear weapon? There are American citizens saying they want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Are you aware of that?
we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried, They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed overseas, and could soon reach the American homeland. Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their Navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon. This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission. We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran. We ask God to protect all of our heroes in harm's way, and we trust that with his help, the men and women of the armed forces will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or in the alternative, face certain death. So lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity, or you will face certain death. Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America's armed forces. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Okay. I don't know where you're at on the spectrum of what's going on. I'm not going to criticize anyone for not supporting the operation in Iran. I'm not going to go after anyone that says, hey, I don't want this to happen. But if your hatred for President Trump gets in the way of you saying or supporting the safety of the troops that are there, you are crazy. You are literally deranged if your hatred for the president, if all you see is Orange Man bad, I'm going to take you on a little trip down memory lane. Let's go here real quick. For all the people that are simping for Iran, I want you to think about January 20th, 1981.
Begin 35 years ago this week with an end to a story that viewers of CBS News were reminded of every day for more than a year.
A new and daring element was disclosed today in the Iran crisis, which has held world attention for 87 days now. And that's the way it is. Tuesday, February 19th, 1980, the 108th day of captivity, the 222nd day of captivity, the 285th day of captivity, the 377th day of captivity for American hostages in Iran.
Since it began in 1979, Walter Cronkite marked each day of the hostage crisis in Iran. 52 Americans were held for 444 days in Tehran after the U.S. embassy was overthrown during Iran's Islamic Revolution.
The conflict would shape President Jimmy Carter's presidency and America's relationship with Iran. But on January 20th, 1981, the story focused on the deal to bring Americans home.
It was a long and harrowing ordeal for the hostages, their families, and indeed the entire nation. And it was an ordeal that plagued the presidency of Jimmy Carter, an ordeal whose final resolution eluded his presidency by less than an hour. More on this story from Robert Pierpoint at the State Department.
President Carter worked in the Oval Office throughout the night and before dawn this morning signed the executive orders that triggered the hostages' release. His signature removed one final obstacle discovered by Iran yesterday, which might have prevented the Iranians from receiving money that rightfully belonged to them long after the hostages were home. Once this problem was resolved, the president ordered the flow to begin of nearly $8 billion in Iran's frozen assets to the Bank of England.
Right on, man. That's great. That's great.
Marine Sergeant John McKeel's parents took the State Department call at home in Balch Springs, Texas.
You can take it officially that they are gone from Iran. Yay!
So I want you to remember this. 444 days. 52 American hostages. A lot of you remember this. A lot of you don't. I was in school at the time, grade school. I remember it specifically because my teacher was a World War II veteran, and he had it on TV in class. And I will never forget this guy. He was crying. And I mean, as a kid, I'm like, what is my teacher crying for? 52 American hostages held for over a year. So anyone that is in the chat that thinks or is simping for Iran, good luck. People have amnesia, Mandela effect. I've heard that Mandela effect. I don't understand it. I'm not that clued into that. But you're absolutely right. People do have amnesia. Let's see here. Just let me know if you want to join in. We'll send a link. There we go. All right. We might have a couple of special guests coming on with a lot of experience with what's going on here. Jimmy Carter also started the Department of Education. So there you go. That's another failure by Jimmy Carter. He allowed American citizens to be held hostage for 444 days. I remember Jimmy Carter, his weak administration. Yeah. Post your gas prices because this could very well affect a lot of gas prices. And right now, Donald Trump really just wants Iran to have freedom. He wants them to be able to, I want Iran to have, I want them to have as many blue-haired liberals as we do, right? That's what I want. I want them to have the same opportunity for people to hate their country like we do and burn their flags and, unsubscribed. You should know. I don't know what that means. Joe Dimmitt. I have no idea.
I can also report that there were no casualties. We heard that there was a missile that landed, and we saw some video of a missile landing near the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. But I'm told there were no casualties, and in fact, that base is largely empty at this point. The target that was struck was an empty warehouse. So the U.S. military has been planning for this for some time, and they knew that the Iranians would immediately target the bases in UAE, Qatar, and Bahrain. And so they've been quietly drawing down from those bases, reorienting the warplanes and staff that are based there, but particularly the warplanes were moved, and the fuelers and the tankers were moved to other bases a safer distance away. But Iran has even fired missiles at the U.S. base in Saudi Arabia, and that's pretty.
So Iran has hit multiple countries this morning. Let me show you this real quick. I don't know if any of you know this guy. Jake Shields. Apparently he's a UFC fighter. Very anti, I would say, America. What does this say? Joe unsubscribed is on the trans wagon again. Who's unsubscribed? I don't know who unsubscribed is. Let me know, Joe. This is Jake Shields and Jackson Hinkle. I would call left-wing lunatics whenever you say at this point, I'm hoping Iran has a nuclear missile. Jackson Hinkle, give Iran the nuke. I don't know who I unsubscribed is. Let me know, Joe. I don't know who that is, man. And I haven't had enough coffee yet this morning, but I'm drinking out of my right-wing conspiracy theory cup. So I'll find out this morning. But this is big when you have Americans. Oh, unsubscribed is a troll. Okay, we can get rid of them. I'll find the name of the troll and we'll nuke them. You know what? I'll see what's going on. Massey's a joke. Yeah, absolutely. But do you think that this is a level of hatred that you can't get around? I think this is absolute crap. That this guy's a UFC fighter, American, saying, I'm hoping Iran has a nuclear missile. Jackson Hinkle, he's a CNN clown. Give Iran the nuke. I don't know how anybody can do this. I don't know how anyone can go this far left. This is this Milo. What does this say? God protect Ayatollah Khomeini. Oh God, we place you before that. He's reading scripture from the Quran. This is Milo, and they love gays over there, right? Chessburger, Ben equals Lindsey Graham. Right. Okay. I'm keeping the trolls. You guys are hilarious. Yeah. Chessburger, have you ever served your country for anything other than the EBT line? That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to understand. We got about 2,500 people in here. We're streaming on Rumble. We're on every platform. So there you go. Don't understand the chat part of your video, Ben. Nonsensical. You don't like the chat down here at the bottom? Okay, no problem. Don't watch it, I guess. A lot of people like seeing the chat up on their TV, and if you don't like it, that's okay. Start your own show, right? Start your own one. I really don't care at this point. Here is a little more information, or this is who Iran has attacked so far. Iran simultaneously targets military assets across the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. There you go. God bless America. You're absolutely right. I was wrong. Bill Clinton did testify. Thank you so much. You know what I'm going to do right here? Let's do this. I'm going to do this right now. I am going to, how do we do this morning? How do we do this? I'm sure someone will probably match me on this, but I will definitely follow through with exactly what I said I would do. I want to go here and show you some more information that's coming in right now. And it looks like we've got
at the moment who are saying
let's go here.
Totally unauthorized by Congress and risk destabilizing the entire region. But also from at least one Republican in Congress so far who is pointing out that
Thomas Massey
attack has not been authorized by Congress.
And there won't be, will there? There will also be Republicans who, in the past, have been very clear they don't want to get involved in another war. So what are they going to be saying about this?
Yeah, and I mean, President Trump's always acutely aware of what his base thinks and what public opinion is suggesting. And I mean, polling has consistently shown large amounts of opposition to the possibility of another U.S. foreign entanglement in the Middle East. It was exactly the kind of thing that President Trump campaigned on in the election, saying he would not do, and exactly the thing he is now doing jointly with the Israelis. I thought it was interesting and important that in his...
I think it's pretty good that somebody said in the chat that if you support Iran, go there. I hate to agree with you, but damn, that's a good comment. I really think that is a good comment. For all the people that are simping for Iran, for all the people that are out parading around for them, why not? Let's see how CNN tries to spin this. Let's go here.
Multiple cities across Iran, including its capital, Tehran. Videos from Tehran show smoke. You see it here billowing over the city. And now we're getting reports of explosions in Gulf Arab countries hosting U.S. military bases. Live look now at Abu Dhabi, where explosions were reported, in addition to Bahrain and Qatar. A video now of an explosion in Bahrain. Officials say a missile hit the service center of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet in the country. These strikes happened barely a day after the latest round of indirect nuclear talks between Iran and the U.S. And sources tell CNN the U.S. military is planning for these attacks to last for days. Israel said the same, and both President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are now calling for regime change.
To the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom...
I'm going to say this. What is the other answer in that region? It seems like a binary choice to me. I am not wanting to get involved in anything, but I'll say this, and this is a good question for the chat here. We're at 50-50. Has Iran ever lost a negotiation with any president? 50% of you say no. 50%, 29% don't know, 21% yes. Iran has never, I can't find one deal that Iran has lost a negotiation with. I don't believe Biden ever held Iran accountable. I don't believe Joe Obama ever held them accountable. I don't believe that Bill Clinton ever held them accountable. I don't believe that George Bush held them accountable. Do you think they have sleeper cells in America? 1,000% they have sleeper cells in America. 1,000% they have sleeper cells in America. There is no doubt. And I believe, let's see here. Do you think the sleeper cells in America will be activated? Let's go here. Do you think they'll be activated? They have been on college campuses. They have been activated on college campuses for quite a while. You can't deny that. You've seen them walking around with their keffes on. That's what they do. Let's go here. JD Vance says there's no chance of a prolonged war as U.S. warships mass around Iran. I'm all for that. Make it short, sweet, 72 hours. What will stop the Iranians' regime, oppression, and murder of its people? I want Iran so free that they get their own blue-haired liberals. That's how free I want them. I want their gays walking around the streets just like they do here, chanting death to America. I want them running around there chanting death to Iran. And for all the people that are in the chat that hate Trump or hate all of this, why don't you want them to have the same freedoms we have? Explain that. Right? Let's go here. Let's see what this is. Well, I don't think they're going. U.S. Israel strikes on Iran trigger retaliation. Live updates. I don't know how anyone else can see this other than let's give them exactly what they want. Remember the two Russian brothers attacked the marathon? Oh, yeah, that's true, isn't it? That's very true. Saudi Arabia slams brutal Iranian aggression against Bahrain, Qatar, UAE. So Saudi Arabia being attacked. I didn't have that on my bingo card. Full-blown MAGA, let's hope so. Yeah. The people in Iran are actually, I can't read this. It looks like chicken scratch. But I'm sure it says something like, I'm sure death to America is in there at least 40 times. Iran was once beautiful and free and a democrat country. Yeah, Iran used to look like Sydney Sweeney, and now it looks like Nancy Pelosi. I mean, that's the easiest description. Look at this. Iranian missile hits Abu Dhabi. These guys are really messing around with the wrong people. I mean, Iran is really. Shelter in place. Missile threat warning. Missile threat warning. Carbon shelter. Shelter in place. Missile threat warning. Carbon shelter immediately. Shelter in place. Missile threat warning. I mean, that is a downtown area. I mean, this is heavily populated. If this was New York City, would you be thinking differently? Imagine how many illegal immigrants would be killed there. There'd be at least 5,000 illegal immigrants killed if that was New York City. Think about it that way. Iran launches retaliatory strikes on Israel after joint U.S.-Israeli attack on Tehran. Also targets a U.S. base. They actually hit a United States military base. This is U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet. I want to show you this. Let's see here. There are American troops there. United States Navy personnel for sure. Huge U.S. Navy contingent. I hope they were all out. Did you see the missile? Look at the missile right there. You see the missile? Time for World to pull the stick out? Yeah. Look at the missile. Somebody said the supreme leader has just been killed. Where's that been reported at? Where is that at? Let's find that. I really want to find out if that's true. If the Ayatollah Khomeini, that was not a drone, that was a missile. Drones don't go that fast. Drones don't go that fast. Ayatollah Khomeini. Let's go. Let's just see if we can find that. I don't know if that's true. Let me know in the chat if that is true. We got a lot of new people becoming members. Jan, thank you for the super chat. We'll get all of those. I watched that hit on the live feed. No, I haven't seen that. Okay, let's see here. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, that's big. That is extremely big. Military knows where the supreme leader. I'm sure he's in hiding in a bunker with some Democrats. Check the Democrat National Convention. I'm sure that's where he's at. Probably snuggled up with the Clintons. Let's go here. Let's see what we got here. Right here. Let's go.
Are getting there into our newsroom. And Oman's, I believe, foreign minister there posted, "I am dismayed. Active and serious negotiations have yet again been undermined. Neither the interests of the United States nor the cause of global peace are well served by this, and I pray for the innocents who will suffer. I urge the United States not to get sucked in further. This is not your war." Again, that was Oman's foreign minister. Important to note, of course, that Oman is one of the mediators in those talks between the U.S. and Iran, which have not yielded any kind of result. We also know that Monday, Iran had said they were scheduled to meet with the U.S. for a 4th round of indirect talks over in Vienna. Not quite clear if that is still going to happen. Again, that's part of the situation that is in flux here. Fox News also saying that a U.S. official is telling them the strikes on Iran expected to last for days, not just a few hours. The official and another source.
Let me ask this for the chat. Leave me a comment in the chat. What do you think would be considered a victory? What would you consider a victory here? Would it be the Ayatollah Khomeini killed? Would you consider it let's go here. I'm gonna see here.
Iran We expect much more will come in as the day progresses here, but that is what we have so far as we continue to follow the latest on Operation Epic Fury, the U.S. and Israel launching that joint military campaign against Iran with the strikes happening overnight. Now, we heard in that 8-minute statement from President Trump about the mission itself and the reasoning behind it. He posted that message on Truth Social, and we are waiting for forward from the White House on what is going to happen as far as maybe a potential news conference later today. As of right now, they do say nothing is officially planned. Now, Iran's foreign minister says they will not hesitate in their response to that renewed military aggression. They say, quote, "The time has come to defend the homeland and confront the enemy's military assault. Just as we were prepared for negotiations, we have been even more prepared for defense at times. The armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran will decisively respond to the aggressors with full authority." We also know the U.S. Embassy in Doha, Qatar, has implemented a shelter-in-place order for all of its personnel, and the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, has closed its airspace as Israel and the U.S. conduct those strikes on Iran. We're also hearing from officials in Bahrain that the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet was targeted by a missile attack. However, we have learned from officials in the U.S. that no casualties were reported. We do have Iran's foreign minister posting this on social media, actually quote tweeting, so to speak, a post from President Trump back in 2012 before he was president. He says Netanyahu and Trump's war on Iran is wholly unprovoked, illegal, and illegitimate. Trump has turned America first into Israel first, which always means America last. Our powerful armed forces are prepared.
I saw a comment in the chat. This is interesting. This is a very interesting comment. Connor Rose, is this the first time someone declared war wearing a campaign hat? If you think Donald Trump's hat with USA on the front, if you think the 3 letters USA are a campaign slogan, you are part of the problem. If you think the words USA are a campaign slogan, you are delusional, you're delirious, you are a window-licking, mouth-breathing moron that should be in a hockey helmet and a drool tray so that you don't injure yourself or others. A hat that says USA on it is not a campaign slogan, you mental midget. You are an absolute dipshit. And I hope every time that you go spend some of your money from your EBT check, because I know you can't hold a job, that you realize that USA, America, in God we trust, are on every piece of taxpayer money that you're spending to buy you a monster, to get you some lube, and to, do your thing. If you hate America that much that you think USA is a campaign slogan, I would say boy, but I don't know what you are. Connor, you're a dipshit. And stick around. I love comments like that. It absolutely invigorates me to know your hatred for America.
Operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas.
It endangers the bases overseas. I'm going to tell you this. I believe that the Democrats and a lot of rhino Republicans do not want the conflict to ever end in Iran because I believe it's a moneymaker. I believe everything in Iran has for years. We've watched the news. We have heard the same old story of Iran. And it usually felt like it's a world away. Just a bunch of talk, some sanctions, same old threats. You got Obama filling a plane full of cash. But as of this morning, something official changed. If you're wondering how we went from an uneasy, what do you want to call it? Negotiation to what we're talking about right now. The talks in Geneva went off the rails. The United States told Iran, give up the nukes, ship the uranium to us, tear down the bunkers, or else. They basically told us to kick rocks. They didn't think we'd pull the trigger. They were wrong. Trump has been, he's had, I want to say 3 attempts on his life. Some people will say 4 attempts on his life. And while we've been dealing with inflation, high gas prices, all this other stuff, they are actually trying to go after this guy.
On Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested.
I mean, the Democrats, all life is sacred unless it's an embryo, unless it's a fetus, right? All life is sacred for the Democrat Party. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I don't think that argument can be broken. I really don't. I don't think you can change or come up with any other narrative that contradicts what's going on. Guys, listen, Babylon will fall. Who are we kidding? You're probably right. You are probably right. I don't believe any punches are going to be pulled right now. Somebody said, keep drinking the orange Kool-Aid. Thank you so much. It tastes so good. It tastes so good. If you're a veteran, post your branch of service in the chat. I'd love to know what your branch of service is, because some of the people in here have served overseas. Middle East glass sale, anti-gravity bongs for that's pretty funny. You pushed a president who is not a wuss and will defend America's interest. For all of the people in the chat that are against this, we paid for this. We funded this. We paid for this, ladies and gentlemen. We paid for it. Obama sent billions to Iran. Billions to Iran. You know it as good as I do. Think about Khobar Towers. Do you remember that one? Does anybody want to talk about Khobar Towers? Here, let's check out this. Khobar Towers. I believe it was Beirut, or was it Lebanon? Khobar Towers. Yeah, Beirut. Here we go. Look, this is who funds this kind of stuff. Let's go here.
Let's go off the record. This year, June 25th fell on a weekend, but this date, June 25th, must not go unnoticed. It's the 20th anniversary of the vicious terror attack on Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia. Most of us may have missed the anniversary since it happened over the weekend, but I know at least 19 families were painfully aware of this anniversary. It's the date their loved ones serving us in uniform were murdered. 19 U.S. Air Force personnel died in that terrorist attack. More than 350 others were injured. And who did it? Hezbollah with a truck bomb. And they bragged about it. They were proud of it. Hezbollah is a terrorist group with a mission to destroy Israel, and frankly, if given the chance, us too. And do you know who arms Hezbollah? Where they get their money for terror? Iran. This past...
Turn your TV up for all the people with peppered anuses. Here we go.
Frankly, if given the chance, us too. And do you know who arms Hezbollah? Where they get their money for terror? Iran. This past Friday, Hezbollah's leader boasted, as long as Iran has money, we have money. And right now, well, Iran has lots of money from that nuclear deal the U.S. just struck with Iran. But I digress. What I really want to do here and now is just to make sure those 19 families know.
Look at these names. These are the 19 families here. Look at this. Let me hide myself.
Yes, we remember. We remember the names of these courageous men. They're on your screen right now. These 19 lives mattered. They're heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice, and we must never forget them. June 25th, 1996. And that's my off-the-record comment tonight.
June 25th, 1996, 30 years ago. Let's go here. This is a new one. Let's see what we got here from Trey. No cocktail dress this morning. Sorry, guys.
We do have team coverage all across the world. We have Lucas Tomlinson, who's live in West Palm Beach, Florida. We have Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin, who is live at the Pentagon.
So we begin with our Chief Foreign Correspondent, Trey Yingst, who's live on the ground in Tel Aviv, where there are air sirens that are blaring right now. Trey, we're going to get straight to you.
Yeah, Lawrence, there were just sirens sounding across central Israel, and those white streaks of smoke that you see on the screen right now, that is our camera live capturing Israel's missile defense systems, and you hear those explosions there right now. The fire's being intercepted overhead. The Iranians are responding in real time to these U.S. and Israeli strikes against their country. A senior Israeli official telling Fox News that Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, and Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, were targeted. A battle damage assessment is ongoing at this hour to determine if those strikes were successful. It's not just Tel Aviv that is now taking incoming ballistic missile fire. It is Haifa in the northern part of Israel, Beersheba, and you hear those booms in the distance as this fire is still being intercepted. And another one there. And yet another one. The fire is getting more intense towards central Israel. And millions of Israelis at this moment, guys, are in bomb shelters. They are following the instructions from Israel's home front command. But you heard those remarks from President Trump. He says that this will be intense and ongoing. He spoke directly about the regime and to the people of Iran, telling them that they have a historic opportunity. This was an operation that we saw coming, months and months of planning. The USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier off the coast of Israel just arrived yesterday in the Eastern Mediterranean. And this gave the Americans and the Israelis that final puzzle piece to move forward with this operation. And just as we speak here, I just want to show you on phones, you can see the amount of fire that Israel is taking right now. All of these lines are rocket and missile alerts that are going to the Israeli people across this country as they wait and shelter. The president was very clear in his language. A war has now erupted in the Middle East. The Iranians are not just targeting Israel, they are targeting U.S. forces in a variety of Gulf countries, including Bahrain, explosions reported in Saudi Arabia, in the UAE. And so now the region braces for what comes next. Israeli air defense systems remain on high alert. And there is a real understanding that this is not an operation that will last just for today or tomorrow. It will take days, but coordination is taking place at the highest level. One other interesting thing that we learned from a senior Israeli official is that among the target list of individuals were commanders responsible for the mass murder of civilians in Iran earlier this year. President Trump was clear on Truth Social after the regime cracked down on those demonstrations that the Americans had the backs of the Iranian people. And today we saw President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordering this operation against the Iranian regime, targeting the country's leadership, significant buildings, ballistic missile launching positions, and a variety of command and control centers inside of Iran. But again, the latest information here in Israel, the country remains under ballistic missile fire at this hour. As you saw, they're live on our cameras. And the country of Israel, like the United States, is bracing for days of war ahead. Guys?
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley.
Guys, I don't know what you think about this, but that's a hell of an update. The supreme leader was targeted, but they are not sure if he was taken out. I hope that they got the guy. I really hope that they got the guy. I believe the supreme leader of Iran is really part of the problem. Okay. Here are your 72 goats. Maybe so. I don't know how many it is. I don't want to know how many it is, to be honest with you. but he's been dead since last night. I don't see any. If somebody sees any real information about that, I would love to find that out, because I'm not seeing anything right now about if the guy is actually gone. Live coverage. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to try to get some more information rolling in. Try to keep this
6
thing
months
moving.
ago.
I don't want to hear that guy talk. He looks like a clown. Let's go here.
Sam, good morning. So
Oh, here we go. Let's see how the CIA spends it this morning. I got called a CIA. Somebody called me a CIA asset, and I thought it was hilarious. I really thought that was hilarious that somebody thought I was CIA. Yeah, if I was CIA, I'd probably have like 6 million subscribers and get interviews with a bunch of politicians. Wonder who that sounds like, right? That's probably who I would be. Who does that sound like again? You fill in the blank there. I don't want to collude with you.
our viewers are waking up, seeing this enormous news and wondering why now.
Well, Adriana, the Iranian regime has terrorized not just its own people, but Americans for almost 50 years with its support for surrogate networks or proxies, its development of its nuclear program, its ballistic missile program, and more. Why now? According to the administration, the Iranian regime has retained its focus on developing its missile program, its support for proxies, and importantly, its nuclear program. As you may recall, the Obama administration did negotiate a deal to curb the development of Iran's nuclear program, to limit its enrichment capabilities and of the material needed for a bomb. President Trump was not satisfied with that agreement. He tore it up and has been quite frustrated about how the Iran.
Did you hear that? Iran won another negotiation with Obama. We understand that because Obama's probably from there, and all of his cousins are probably from there.
Iranians have reportedly engaged in the diplomatic negotiating process, along with their ongoing development of ballistic missiles and support for proxies that have targeted Americans.
Well, and so, you know, I mean, we're talking about the possibility of sort of a long-term type of thing here. I do have to question, I was surprised, Sam, when I heard the president use the word warning of casualties, use the word war. What could this mean for Americans on the home front? Because we see something happening so far away, but what is the possibility for any kind of threat here at home?
Well, Kelly, let's start with what we can see. What we can see is that the United States and Israel are engaged in a decapitation operation against really a hit list of targets inside of Iran, military intelligence and other figures. What we can see as well is that they have a military buildup that will allow them to continue those military strikes for some time. We can also see that Iran is retaliating with missiles. Iran has the ability to strike not just in the region, but also into Europe. So Americans are currently in the range of Iranian missiles. It is also worth noting, however, Iran retains significant cyber capabilities that could implement attacks all over the world and has continuously invested in surrogate networks here in the homeland and all around the world that have historically been quite successful, unfortunately, in targeting Americans. We could also see, and it's too soon to tell, a spike in commodities prices, namely oil, if key maritime corridors like the Strait of Hormuz are impacted by what is likely going to be a prolonged conflict in the region.
Sam, the president made very clear that what he wants to see is the Iranian people rise up and create regime change. What will it take for that to happen? And why do you think the president is putting the onus on the Iranian people versus in Venezuela when the U.S. went in on the ground?
Well, what we don't know is if the United States is engaged in any kind of covert action operations to try to convince members of the regime to switch sides. So we have this public overt messaging to the Iranian people, and ostensibly there could be accompanying covert action operations, influence operations, and otherwise to try to convince.
I want to give that comment an absolute fantastic boom shakalaka.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
That's a great comment. Two young blondes telling us military maneuvers. Yeah, I agree. Here's something for those that don't remember a lot about what Iran is capable of or what they've done. We got any Navy veterans in the chat? If you're a Navy veteran, please let me know in the chat that you're a Navy vet, because I want you'll understand this. Here we go. Let's go here. Navy veterans in the chat. Enjoy. Anyone that thinks Iran is a good group of people. Somebody says I'm a blonde. There we go. Here we go. Thank you.
Into CNN. It's from the Iranian news agency, and it shows our American sailors being turned over to American authorities. These are the 10 Navy sailors whose boat drifted into Iranian waters, supposedly illegal waters. The Iranians took them into custody and held them overnight for nearly a day. You can see the sailors sitting there, and you can see the Iranians, I would suppose, looking at these Americans' passports.
One note about the video you're seeing there, and again, as you say, sourced to Iranian TV, that appears to be the moment of capture when those sailors were there on their knees, as you see in the video, with their hands up or their hands behind their head. Really not a pretty picture to see. I mean, I talked to a lot of guys.
Any Iranian supporters here?
Guys in the military, and you can see from the expressions on those U.S. sailors' faces, they were not happy with the situation. From the very beginning, as you know, Carol, administration officials saying that there was nothing hostile about this act, no hostile intentions here. They believe that it was merely a mechanical issue. The boat had an issue. The Iranians came and detained them because they were in Iranian waters by accident, appears, not by intention. But I'll tell you, when you see sailors or soldiers with their hands behind their heads on their knees, it raises the question, how were they taken? What were the circumstances under which they were taken? We don't know yet. I have asked if they were taken at gunpoint, but those images certainly uncomfortable, I would say, to see.
Well, Colonel Francona, we saw those weapons being laid out on, on the boat. Those, I assume, were from the American sailors. So how exactly would such a thing go down, generally speaking?
Okay, what happens if you drift into somebody's territorial waters? Normally, you're looking for assistance. We're not at war with Iran. You normally expect other seamen to come out and render assistance. This is what happens when they come into our waters. This happens more often than it is reported.
Look at those American sailors on their knees. This was 10 years ago by Iran. Okay. Apparently, Ayatollah Khomeini's, one of his advisors has been killed. Good. Ben, that is a trick question. I support the Iranian people. Okay. Here. Let me change the poll then. Let me change the poll. Let's do this one. Do you support the Iran regime? That's what I want to go. Do you support the Ayatollah? I'm sure we've got some bots. Great catch. Thank you for catching me on that one. Thank you for catching. I'll trade some frack gas for some oil. The regime needs to go. There's a lot of people that will ignore this. So they held 52 Americans for 444 days. They take Americans here, put them on their knees, make them beg. Looks like they're praying on the carpets. Connor supports them. I don't know. Ben said good. Overthrow the regime. Absolutely. I say get rid of that government. I want Iran to be so free they have pride parades in Tehran. That's what I want. I don't want them to have. And for the people that were talking about Iran in the Bible, Iran was called Persia in the Bible. And if you don't know who the prince of Persia was, you should look that up. And I'll give you the chapter and verse for you to do that. Daniel 10, 13 through 20. Go ahead and look that one up. Feel free. Okay. This is a lot of people are not going to like what's going on. A lot of you will. I support the troops. I support what's going on right now. I'll tell you this, Donald Trump has made a lot of great decisions whenever it comes to strategic round the world influence. Why would you suddenly think he's got this one wrong? Why would you suddenly think he's got this out of all the other ones? Why would you think this one's wrong? Yeah, I changed it. There we go. Look at this. 4% of the people, 4% of the people in the chat support the Iranian regime. They want them to continue to do all the heinous things. 4% people vote for that, want Iran to build nukes. Soldier Boy's a troll. What a good name for a cuck. Thank you. Iranian women and men want their country back. I support my country. Yeah. Okay. Let's go here. Let me grab some of this stuff that's coming in right now off of the wire, I guess. Oh, this is a good one. I don't know how many of you like Kansas, but Kansas is looking very appealing right now. Let me see what this guy's got going on here. Kansas is looking pretty appealing right now. This is more coverage of them hitting the naval base in Bahrain. This is actual United States Navy base, 5th Fleet headquarters in Iran. That's pretty crazy right there. That is pretty crazy what they're showing. Man, I don't know what. Here we go. Look at this. Oh, they're taunting him. Ayatollah Khomeini's silence draws taunts amid U.S.-Israel strikes. I mean, we have so much free speech in America. We allow the Ayatollah Khomeini to use Twitter. Right? Khomeini Jr., why are you not tweeting? I checked on him this morning. Oh, yeah. We're living in biblical days. It's probably more TDS. Hey, man, just checking in again. I saw they erased your house. This is the Khomeini's house? They're trolling him on X? Go for it. Go for it. Why not? Oh, this is the speech from Trump this morning. Iran says it will deliver a historic lesson to Israel and the United States. Okay, dude. If that's your plan. John Fetterman just came out. Operation Epic Fury. Trump has been willing to do what's right and necessary to produce real peace in the region. God bless the United States, our great military, and Israel. Okay, I'm all for that. Let's go. I want to show here. I'm going to take a little Iran break. I want you to see this. This is Kansas. This is for those of you that live in Kansas. This will trigger some of you. This will trigger the 4%.
Is invalidating driver's licenses and birth certificates for roughly 1,700 transgender residents. A new law now in effect.
Let me play that again. Let me play this again. This is in Kansas.
Is invalidating driver's licenses and birth certificates for roughly 1,700 transgender residents. A new law now in effect bans state documents from listing a sex that is different from the one assigned at birth. The bill reverses changes previously made for trans residents and requires them to turn in their old license and pay for a new one. They'll also be given new birth certificates. And Uber.
I love this. Kansas Democrats are erupting in rage after a new Kansas law takes effect that invalidates their driver's licenses because they changed their transmissions. They went from a stick shift to 4 on the floor, or to no on the floor, to be honest with you. Democrats are losing. I love that. There's more than 1,700. Kansas is based. If Kansas is based, type 1 for yes, 2 for no. We'll get back over to that real quick. Let's go here. This is Fetterman, Operation Epic Fury. I love it. They're even turning on Fetterman now, calling him a Zionist traitor. Oh, they're eating their own. The Democrats are eating their own. Trump in 24, no new wars. I think this is going to be a quick one. Oh, Democrats are saying this is a distraction from the Epstein files right after Bill Clinton perjured himself. You've got to love this, man. They are crumbling. They are absolutely cratering in their own. I mean, it seems like they're wallowing in their own pity, misery, and piles of fecal matter is what it looks like to me. And I couldn't be happier. I want to do this. Let's hell with it. Why not? There's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to chime in on this. I already see it happening. Ben, do you see Rumble? Look, yeah, I can see the Rumble chats. Absolutely. I'm watching it right now. Trump warns Iran. We got a lot of people watching over on Rumble. Thank you very much. Yeah, I always keep track of the Rumble stuff. Ben, you're not based at all. Somebody said I'm not based. Cool. There we go. Louis Terrazas says, I'm not based. Super chat over on Rumble. A great day to be an American. USN retired. My Dar. Thank you very much, My Dar, for the Rumble chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Don't kid yourself. This is distraction. They're throw each other under the bus. Louis, I hate to do this, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete you forever. Yeah, I want Iran so free that they have everything that we struggle with here. Let's see here. Tommy, I don't even know what day this is. Yeah, I agree, man. This is a crazy situation we've got going on here, but we're going to get through this, and we're going to basically just ratio these clowns into oblivion. I have every faith in the American military. I have every faith in the president. I used to work for Pete Hegseth. I trust the hell out of that guy. A lot of people saying they voted for this. Does Connor dress as a furry goat? Operation Lion King? That sounds pretty good. I want to take some calls this morning. I want to get some answers from you guys. What do you think? Just turn down the audio when you do call in, or I'll hang up on you. Turn down the audio when you call in. You're welcome to call. As long as there's no name calling, I don't care. If you're for the operation in Iran, let me know. If you're against it, let me know why. Have an adult conversation. Let's go Donkey Voice. Kick us off. What you got, Donkey?
Hey, brother. This is reminiscent of a Monty Python movie. It's like bread and circuits for those idiot Dems. It's sad because we don't have the cohesiveness we need to go forward as a country. And, it is what it is. We're going to go to war. We already know that's going to happen. So I pray to my patriot brothers, and I say, let's go kick some ass.
Thank you very much, Donkey. I'm going to grab these. Let's go here. Line 3. What you got?
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Turn your audio down in the background.
Army veteran, and I totally support what's going on with Iran.
Well, thank you for your service, and thank you for your call. God bless you. Line 3, go.
Hello?
Yeah, line 3, go right ahead. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Oh, my name is Andres. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Good morning, Andres. What you got?
I don't know. I'm concerned, man. I see a lot of our bases are getting hit. I don't think Trump's got it right. We might get a lot of attacks coming our way.
What would you prefer to happen? Would you prefer to let Iran build a nuclear missile?
I mean, I think they're bad guys, but I just don't think this is the right course of action. I don't.
What is the right course of action in your opinion? What would you recommend happening? What would you recommend that they do?
Wait, what's your response? Since you're the expert, what's your response?
I'm no
What's
expert.
your
I don't
solution?
claim to be an expert.
But okay, but you're the one with the platform. What do you think? You think this? You predicted this a long time ago.
I think Iran has never lost a negotiation. They continue to press the envelope. They have been funded by Obama. He sent planes loads of cash.
Why didn't Bush
They
do
are the
this then
number.
a long time ago? Why didn't Bush do this a long time ago?
I agree. I completely agree with you. This should have been handled a long time ago. The can has been kicked down the road, and now you have a guy that is taking care of problems, and that upsets people.
So you don't think anything's gonna be coming our way? You don't think a carrier's gonna be attacked? You don't think anything else is gonna happen?
I am in firm belief that things are going to be coming our way. They just launched missiles at a headquarters in Bahrain. But here's the thing. Have you ever been bullied in your life? Have you ever been bullied?
You tell me your response. Have you been bullied?
I have. And you know the best way to handle a bully is a giant punch in the mouth. And Iran has been a bully on the world stage. They've never lost a negotiation. You sound like someone with a lot of questions, but you don't really have any ideas for a solution. You take care. Think about it. Let's go here. Line 3. Turn the audio down in the background. I'll hang up on you. You're retarded. There we go. Line 3, go.
You take care. Think about it.
A lot of retards that can't turn the audio down in the background. Joe Shahalis, what you got, brother?
Good morning, Ben. Hey, I'm tickled pink about this. I've been watching this whole scenario since, my God, when they captured our embassy back in the day when the Shah fell. And maybe people have forgotten what they did to our people for a very long time, and it's time now.
I showed that here. I showed what they did. They held our troops, or held Americans hostage for 444 days. I showed Beirut, Khobar Towers. I showed the hostages they took from the United States Navy. I showed it. Yeah, dumb people are never going to recognize this.
All right. Keep up the good work, Ben. Thank you.
Take care, brother. Line 3, God bless you. Where are you calling from?
Jim in Nashville. The Carter years and the Iranian hostage situation, they were only released the day before Ronald Reagan was to take office. He would have kicked their butt.
You are
Have a great week.
1,000% correct. 1,000% correct.
That's the only reason they did it.
Here's the only thing that I can find redeeming about Jimmy Carter is he was a submariner like myself. That's the only redeeming quality I have for the guy. And I actually served on a submarine called the USS Jimmy Carter, which was just Google that. I can't say too much about what we did. Thank you for calling. Line 3, go right ahead.
Good morning, Ben. This is Wolfpack 6 Delta. Hey,
good morning, sir.
You know, all this was covered until Biden and Obama gave them back their ability to enrich that uranium.
Let's talk about that. The one caller called in, he had lots of questions, and I love when people try to play these like trap gotchas. Like, well, what do you think? What do you think? Well, we know what Obama thought. We don't know what Biden thought because he couldn't find his ass with both hands. But Obama's thoughts was, let's pay them off. Let's give them money. And they're the number one number one world sponsor of terror. If you give a drug deal, if you give a crackhead some money, do you think they're going to spend it on drugs?
No, he's going to buy more crack every time.
If you give Iran more money, what are they going to spend it on?
They're going to make a bomb. They're going to create a bomb. And where's it going to be? They're going to float it in here. They're going to drop it off at Miami, Washington, D.C., Baltimore. I mean, why not? They've given them plenty of blueprints with movies, right?
Thank you very much for confirming what I thought. God bless you. Let's go here. Florida trucker, what you got?
Wake up, America.
I think they
I was bullied in high school, and I found the only way to solve that was just go kick his ass.
It's amazing to see Iran be a bully on the world stage all the way up till we get a guy named Donald J. Trump in office.
Hey, I've been singing his songs since way back before. Does anybody? I don't know if you know. Have you watched his biography or anything? He went to military school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He had honors, had honors when he went through military school. So
let me grab this.
He's got a little military background, and if it don't piss you off seeing our soldiers with their hands over their heads, if that don't piss you off, y'all need to go to another country.
I agree. Thank you, trucker. Line 3, go right ahead. Turn the audio down in the background. It is the last time I will say it.
Hello?
Go right ahead.
Purim, the Old Testament. It's the turnaround. Esther and Haman, that's all I have to say.
All right, there we go. Line 3, go.
Yeah, hey, these guys have been my enemy since 1979 when I was 9 years old.
The
Let's
Iranians?
go in there. Let's get our embassy back.
Okay.
That's all. Take care.
All right, there we go. Short, sweet, to the point. Short, sweet, to the point. Is it bin Laden in Iran? He was in Iran. He was smoked. He had a wake-up call. He got woken up very early by a bunch of group SEAL Team 6 guys. Ben, it's common sense. You're extremely based. Thank you, JT. Line 3, go right ahead.
Hey, Ben, I'm glad you showed that old video of when all the Navy personnel were taken hostage. I find it kind of weird that situation played out like that, and the money was given by Obama.
Obama, man.
To the other, yeah, and then the other caller about Bush, like I can remember being in Iraq, and we were already drawing lines to go into Iran.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't have the propaganda at the time or the people's vote behind it. And last thing I gotta say before that, it's like if you actually look at what Iran does, it's all about the propaganda points that they try to get.
Oh yeah.
Like even when, see, if you actually pay attention to that, you'll realize where we are at. And you are 100% correct. They haven't lost anything on the world stage.
They've never lost a negotiation. Never.
Yeah, or they always have to get something to get that visual highlight to show that they're the top dog. And that's how they always close out the negotiation. Whatever negotiation, whoever was in charge at the time, there's some kind of like visual aid they leave with.
What branch of service were you in?
People.
What branch of service?
I was in the Marines. I'm a knuckle dragger.
Let me ask you this. When you were deployed, the one thing that was written inside of every portable toilet, every shitter that I remember, there were 3 letters and it said KBR, and always under that it said keep Bush rich, because conflict, war, those are very profitable. And I think for so long, the military industrial complex, and I will put Obama, I will put the Clintons, I will put Bush, I will put Obama, I will put Biden in that category. They have used Iran, they have used Iraq, they have used Ukraine, they have used Afghanistan as a money laundering machine. And for the first time, we have a guy that doesn't need money, and he is shutting it down. What is your thoughts?
Yep. Oh, you're 100% correct. I could tell you someone made a lot of money off that war, and it wasn't us. Let's just be honest. Like,
you know it.
Yeah, and that would always frustrate me. And we won't even talk about some of the equipment that we had that I knew that someone pushed on us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
And, and I always ended up becoming operator error, which was always annoying as hell when you.
I want to say right now, thank you for your service, and Semper Fi, brother. And keep our brothers and sisters in arms in your prayers. Let's go here. Line 3. Line 3.
Mushy, Ben. It's Goofy for Jesus. How you doing, bro? I just want to say that I completely agree with what's going on with Iran, and I think that Trump laid it out straight and forward. He made the case when he posted his 8-minute speech this morning.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you for calling. Let's go here. Line 3. What do you got, line 3? Turn the audio down in the background.
I got it. Okay. The only thing wrong with Iran is it's full of those Islamic Muslims. But do you remember, I think it was back in the Bush days, that there was a baseball T-shirt floating around. It said, "Hey Iran" or "Hey Iraq," and it was Mickey Mouse flipping the bird. Were you old enough to remember that?
I don't. I don't know the relevancy right now.
Oh, well, it's kind of the same thing. F you jackwagons over there. All right, man. Thanks.
All right. There we go. Line 3, go. Somebody hung up. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go line 2. Go.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead. Turn.
Yes, Ben.
Go.
Yes.
Goodbye. Let's just ban that caller as well. Let's go. Block. Let's go here. I really want to know this. This is a good question here. This is a good one. There's your poll question for the ages. Let's go here. Line 3.
Hey, Ben, it's Ace Walder. Hey, do you think that this Iran thing also kind of has something to do with what's going on with the Afghan-Pakistan thing? Pakistan declaring war on Afghanistan or something with Al Qaeda that happened the other day that really wasn't covered on the news much?
Without a shadow of a doubt. And here's the thing. Afghanistan is now going to use American military equipment that was left by Biden to attack them.
I know. I seen that comment you had posted up, and I paused my TV before I pushed send on my phone, like you're supposed to, and it made me think about that because I remember briefly seeing on the news about the Pakistan Afghan thing, and I was wondering if they all kind of rolling together. You know what I mean?
I believe on the world stage, not only on the world stage, but when it comes to Iran, when it comes to Syria, when it comes to Afghanistan, when it comes to China, when it comes to Russia, if you don't think they're all working in conjunction with each other, you're being fooled. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I really think you're fooled if you don't think they're all working together. Thank you for your call. I appreciate it. There we go. Let's see here. Which president stood up to Iran? Obama, Biden, Bush, or Trump? Vote on that in the polls. Vote on that one. Let's go here. The Bahrain, Iran situation's wild. Let's see here. Let's go right here. Line 2, go. Line 2, go.
Ben, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Trent, full-blown MAGA.
Good morning, sir.
I joined the Army. My dad signed off on me at 17 years old for this very reason. I am so happy today that we finally have a president that's got the balls to do what needs to be done.
Let me ask you a question, and this is a question for you or a question for the chat. Why is it shocking to everyone, or is it more disgusting to realize that this is the first president in the last 40 years to have the actual guts to do something?
It's been a laundry it's just been money laundering.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that Iran is. And the poor people of Iran have been tortured, murdered, thrown off buildings for years.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I am so happy that this is happening. I would like, I'm 62 years old now. I'll be 63 in May, but I would like to one day go to Iran and play in a casino or something.
I'm not happy about the people that are going to be injured, lose their life, lose their livelihood. I'm not happy for that, but I do think that something had to be done there.
Ben, you always know that the sacrifice of the few is good for the many.
I got you. Thank you for calling. Line 2, go. Missouri, it looks like. Line 2.
Yes. Hey, this is Ed from Missouri.
Good morning, sir.
Let's let you know that people may have forgot, but Saudi Arabia said if Iran got nuclears, they want nuclear bombs. I don't know if that's a long time ago, but that was a talk to the United States that if Iran got nuclear, they want the same thing. So look, all these Middle East countries wants that. So,
right. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Let's go here. Paratrooper.
Hey, buddy. I was 82nd Airborne, as you know, 76 and 79. I've been waiting almost just under 50 years for this to finally happen. When I was in, we were chomping at the bit to go over there and get those hostages.
You weren't allowed. You weren't allowed to go get your brothers and sisters in arms.
Yes. Carter disgusts me to this day. I mean, that man, we were pushed around by the entire world. But Iran's had this coming for a long time. And I'm so glad we have a president with a spine.
Let me ask you this. And Johnny Ballgame just put in the chat, no boots on the ground. I don't know if it's going to come to that. I don't know. If it does, what do you think?
I think we can pound them into submission. And you got to remember, Iran, in the 70s, Iran was just like America, man. They were, they had freedom and everything, but the people got to stand up because freedom is not free. We know that as Americans.
You're right. Thank you for calling, Paratrooper. God bless you. There we go. Great insight from somebody that's had boots on the ground. Let's see here. I have to ask my son a question. He is an Army vet. There you go. Ask him, Tina. Thank you. Great call. It's interesting to hear from people that have done this. I deployed over there, not to Iran. I deployed in 2005. Did I want to be there? No. I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm a submarine dude. How's this freedom for America? Bar S boys, I'll tell you this. This is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt if you want. I don't care. If you don't stop it there, it comes here. We can talk about Dearborn, Michigan. We can talk about Minneapolis. We can talk about New York City. We can talk about all the mosques being built in Dallas, Texas, or across Texas. If you don't stop it there, it comes here. Prove me wrong. Call in and prove me wrong with that statement. If you don't stop it here or stop it there, it comes here. And if you allow people to come from there, it's not long before here becomes there. It's not long. I don't know how you can not see that. If you're seeing it in England, we're an 8-hour flight from England, depending on where you're at in the country. Let's go here. I want to see this. Tehran was just hit. I don't know if there's going to be anything bad shown on here, but let's see what this is. Tehran was just hit. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to grab a cup of coffee is my goal. Let's go right here. There we go. Let's go here. I want to see this. There's something that's about to happen that could be very, very bad for America. And I think this is going to be used against us. And I want to get your take on this. Let's see here. I think this is about to happen across the country, actually. And yeah, let me see if I can find this real quick. This is about to be weaponized against us. Oh, here we go. Here we go, right here. For those of you that are not aware, there's another No Kings rally that's coming up. No Kings rally is coming up very soon. I believe it's in March is whenever they've got this. Let's see, the No Kings rally. Yeah, March 28th, coast to coast. They're going to have another No Kings rally, March 28th. I'm sure a lot of you are signed up for this already. No Kings Coalition continues its nationwide Ben, I think it's March 28th. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we just confirmed it right here. March 28th. Another No Kings Coalition is coming together. And I believe we're going to see this with combined here. Let me go here. No Kings. I really think this will be weaponized against the American people, considering what's happened right now. Let's check out their, wow, they got their own YouTube page. Okay. They're backed by the ACLU. They're a bunch of clowns. I agree. Couldn't agree with you more. Let's go here. March 28th is the next one. And this is going to be huge. They're going to turn this into No Kings. They're going to try to turn this into the largest rally against Americans ever.
Interim Chief of the Contrarian, we are delighted on today of all days to have Ezra Levin.
Yeah, okay. We're not going to listen to her talk very much. Wow. But that's the next goal. No Kings rally is going to be lit, right? That's going to be lit. I don't know how many of you are going to be. Somebody says no, not concerned about the No Kings rally. I would be concerned because I guarantee you they're going to use this. P Fox, thank you for joining as a member. Let's go here. I want to see what the latest drivel is coming out of all these different stations. National Libtard Day. Yeah, you're right about that. Let's go here.
Let's go to our chief.
Let's see what is going on here. I want to see what this clown is saying. She hates America too, but I like hearing her perspective.
At the first alert that the Israeli missiles and the U.S. missiles had struck Iran. It was a joint operation from the get-go. I'm told that this operation will last not hours, but days. This is an open-ended operation with a wide variety of targets. I'm told from a senior U.S. military official that the U.S. is focusing on military targets, on ballistic missile sites, on anything that could pose an immediate threat on the Iranian Navy, but the Israelis are targeting Iran's leadership. So any of the targets that you hear about the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei being targeted, the defense minister being targeted, those are being carried out by the Israelis. Let me mention some of the targets that we know were hit this morning in Tehran: the Defense Ministry, the Parliament, the National Supreme Council, the Ministry of Intelligence, the Iranian Atomic Energy Agency. There have been cyber attacks across Iran.
Are you hearing these are all specific strikes on members or on arms, weapon, very detailed strikes on what's happening right now?
Down in the south, the naval bases in Bandar Abbas, as well as in Kark Island. And then what's also interesting is out in the east of Iran, there's a target near Tabriz and Kermanshah, which is the IRGC aerospace forces. That's significant because that's where they would have been developing those long-range ballistic missiles, satellites that also could have been part of that intercontinental ballistic missile program that they were trying to develop that the president referenced. But the biggest problem right now is the stockpile of cruise missiles and ballistic missiles that the Iranians built up since last summer, because they were terribly degraded last summer in the 12-day war. But they have been working to rebuild that missile supply. We're seeing some of those missiles being fired at Israel. As Trey reported, they have, for the most part, been intercepted by the air defenses. But of all of the U.S. military bases in the Gulf, the only country where U.S. bases were not targeted this morning is Oman. And of course, Oman's foreign minister had been leading and mediating those those talks in Geneva, and then came here to Washington to lobby Vice President J.D. Vance to try and avert what we've seen happening in the last 5 hours, and which is basically turning into a regional conflict. But there have been interceptions. The Qatari government has intercepted missiles fired toward U.S. base, the Al Udeid Air Base, the largest air base in the Middle East. That's a U.S. base. Then in Bahrain, we did see one missile land, but I'm told that there are no casualties and it hit an empty warehouse. So we are getting increasing reports. This is ongoing. But I'll throw it back to you at this point.
Jennifer, you had mentioned that we are there. The U.S. is focused on the ballistic missiles and Israel's focusing on the leadership. What about an Operation Midnight Hammer? That happened in the middle of the night there. This did not. It was daylight.
I mean, you see here, long-term military bases operating near Iran. I don't even like the idea of having military bases there. But if they are there, you better have those troops' backs. I mean, I don't even agree with having military bases in that region. I say pull the military bases out of England, pull them out of Germany. That's how pro-America I am. I say put all the military bases down and damn along the southern border. Will it happen? No. But, I mean, let's go here. I want to see this. Looks like actual stuff flying. Look at this. You see that? Wow. I don't even agree with the military bases being there. But if they're going to be there, you better have their back. And while they're there, clean it up. Take out the garbage right now. And right now, it seems like there's a lot of damn garbage in the Middle East. It seems like a binary choice in the Middle East. I can't think of another way around that with what is happening. I don't see another way around it. Tehran fires back at the Middle East. This is U.S. and Israel carry out major strikes. Iranian. Oh, here we go. Let's see what this says. How many of you support this? Is this what you want to see? Videos of Iranians dancing with joy in the streets as the mullah tyrants that the Democrats have always hated mullahs because they're billionaires. As we see on the post by David Vance, X account below, they're actually dancing in the streets. Look at this. They want Trump to liberate that country. Incredible. Iranians dance with joy as the mullah tyranny gets pulverized. I haven't try to use that 5 times in a sentence today. I mean, we're different. We are absolutely different. In Iran, we have Iranian women two-stepping because Trump is helping them. In America, we have blue-haired liberals with nose rings chanting death to America. We are not the same. We have this Iranian woman two-stepping, blocking traffic, celebrating the possibility of some freedom where she doesn't have to wear a damn diaper on her head and cover her face. Their vitamin D levels are probably all low because they get 2 inches of sun across their nose. A lot of nose cancer going on there. But in America, we have people chanting death to America on our streets because we're helping them. We are not the same. Watchtower. Fine hitting Iran together, but what do you think will happen with allies when a false Christ arrives, but one calls him Messiah, 2 Thessalonians? Watchtower? I don't know, man. I don't know. Tell me who the false Christ is. Feel free. Let's go here. Salute Patriots. Daniel, you're right. 14 months. Thank you. We almost had 2 babies together. Robert, laughed my butt off. You can put boots on the ground because my grandchildren will speak English and pray on their feet. Okay. God bless our troops. We are not the same, guys. Only women are allowed to speak on this. Notice that. Let's see here. Let's go here. I'll see if I can get a, let's go right here. I'll see if I can do this. I don't know if it'll happen. Let's go here. Bam. Message sent. Message sent. Let's see what we got. I want to grab some more calls. I want to see what you guys think. Lines are open. 615-475-7864. Feel free, call in. Salute Patriots. Donald, appreciate you. I'm about to turn 60 in 5 days. I was baby bullied through school. Great. Line 3, what you got, Chris?
Hey, Ben, I support this with these airstrikes and everything. My deal is this. I just pray that it don't end up being another Iraq or Afghanistan. I hope we do what we got to do it quickly, targeted, and then bring our kids home, man.
Okay. Let me ask you this. If you had a business and you knew that the business was in a bad neighborhood, would you keep security there all the time?
Yes, I would, but I'm just not. I just long-term boots on the ground, man, and our kids getting killed.
Let me ask you this. I'll give you another example. We have a barn full of chickens, horses, feed. If we didn't have some barn cats down there and some Great Pyrenees walking around that field, what do you think would come in there and kill all our chickens and eat all the feed?
I understand both sides of the story. I do. I understand both sides of the coin, but
let me give you another question. Do you have neighbors?
Yes.
Do you trust them?
For the most part.
Do you lock your door when you go to bed at night?
Yes.
Why do you lock them if you trust your neighbors?
I understand where you're coming from.
I'm going to grab this other one, Chris. Thank you for the call. Line 3, go right ahead.
Hey, Ben. Hi. How are you? Georgia here. I just got a call from Israel. My ex-husband, lives in Israel. He's Israeli, and he said that they just announced that the evil man Khamenei is dead.
Have him call me. Have him call the show. I'd love to talk to him.
Oh, yeah, I was calling you. I have your number on the TV screen.
Have your ex-husband call. I'd love to talk with him.
Okay, I don't think he can right now because he's in a shelter.
He's in a shelter. Well, I want to say
they hold him shelter.
I will include him and every other person in that region in a prayer. And thank you for calling. Line 3, go.
Hey, Ben, good morning, buddy. It's Trucker John. I'm over here in Wichita, Kansas right now, and I just woke up with my morning coffee in my truck. The truck.
You be careful.
I think that's.
You be careful in Wichita. Wichita, you be careful.
Yeah, I will. Anyways, check it out real quick. I think they were doing the backwards liberal dance in Iran.
Isn't it amazing to see a country that is living in actual tyranny celebrate the help of America, whereas we live in a country with unknown freedoms and we celebrate the tyranny?
Oh yeah, it's insane, dude. Just like when the hockey team came into the house the other night, I mean, these people are just idiots, bro. We know it. God knows it, you know. But I love your channel, Ben, dude. I'm gonna buy you a steak dinner one of these times because I come through where you're at all the time.
Hey,
Right through there on my way to Texas.
I'm telling you, you be careful in Wichita. There's a heavy gang presence there. A lot of Tren de Aragua, a lot of cartels in Wichita. And I'll tell you the other thing that started in Wichita. Little guy by the name of Dennis Rader, BTK. You be safe. Take care,
okay.
brother.
All right.
God bless
Thank
you. God bless you. Somebody said no problem. Yeah, I don't have time to read that. Thank you very much, though. Lines are open 615-7864. 475-7864. Love to talk to you. I'd love to get your opinion on what you think is going on. Do you agree with what's going on? Do you disagree? Does Iran use hospitals and children as shields? 97% say yes. Well, that should probably answer a lot of questions for you. That might answer some questions if you're in disagreement with what's going on. Ben, I'm old and slow. I'll get her done. What's up, Tommy? Thank you very much. Let's go here. Line 4. Go line 4. Line 4. You're on the show.
Hello?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Hi. I was just wondering, with the strikes going on, how come the U.S. has to get involved every single time? How come Israel can't be the one to step up, since we fund them with so much money, so much of our own resources that could be used here in America to either block the border off, help when it comes to drugs, the VAs that are coming back and everything? How come we have to be the one to intervene when it's a conflict between these two?
Who do you trust?
It's not a matter of trust. We already gave them all the resources when it comes to money, missiles, equipment, intelligence. You know what I mean? Why is it that we got to go across the way with our equipment again with our men and women? How come we have to do it? How come Israel? We gave you all the money, the backing. This is on you. You want to take control of that? On you.
Do you think it changes the game whenever Iran launches missiles at American bases, American ships, American troops? They take Americans.
Well,
hostage.
now they are because we are there. We did a proactive thing. All right. Well, now we have to face the consequences, good or bad, right? Good or bad. How come Israel isn't the one? We've backed you so much with all the equipment and money. Again, I know I'm redundant. This is on you now. You take care of it. You have Iron Dome. You have all this nuclear weapons. I know it's the N word. We're not allowed to say it. I know, but you know what I mean? You have all this technology. Why is it that the America has to come in to be the big bad guy? Good or bad? You know what I mean?
Well, you answer the question for me. Why do we have to do it?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Why do we?
I'll say this.
This isn't good or bad for us.
Let me ask you this. Every country surrounding or bordering Israel, what do they have in common?
Oh, you know, I agree with you on that.
No, you haven't agreed because you didn't answer my question.
No, on that, when it comes to my apologies. I will agree with you on that. Usually the Middle East, they have the extremists when it comes to that. Not saying the people of that country, not saying all of them are bad, right? I'm not saying one group is bad.
Let me ask you this. A
line where they say that death to America from their radical extremists. I completely agree with you on that.
I want to ask you one thing. Right now in the Middle East, it is a binary choice. It is radical Islam, or it is our only ally, which is Israel. Do you agree with that statement?
Well, if I were to go on that front, I would say this. How come the people of their own country can't take care? How come their own people can't take care of that
as your
themselves?
response.
Or
you're
why
giving me a
cannot
question as a response.
If Israel wants to take care of it, they can take care of it on their own selves, since they are, in fact, the superpower of the Middle East. They can take care of themselves with the funding that we gave them, as well as the military equipment, and as well as the help of the people within inside of it to take care of their own problems.
Okay, I'm going to slow you down here. I'm going to slow you down.
Okay.
You didn't answer my question. You came with a dialogue. You came with a monologue. You came with this long thing.
Apologies.
Is it a binary choice in the Middle East? Radical Islam or help Israel?
Why is it even a choice?
You can't answer the question, can you? You have to come back.
You can't answer. You don't have to answer the question. Why is it even a question? This should not be a
It's
matter of
radical
U.S.
Islam
affairs at all.
or our only ally. That's the answer. It's radical Islam or our only ally. It is a country or multiple countries that believe in a guy that married a 6-year-old or Israel. Line 2, go.
Good morning, Ben. It's Dawn in Reading.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, so I think it's about darn time we do something to help the people in Iran get them free. I just hope that once this is all handled, that they're taking care of their own security and we're not having our kids out there fighting for them constantly, because I just don't want it to become another Iraq and Afghanistan, because my kid was involved in all of that, and I just really don't want other kids there. But we definitely need to protect Israel. I mean, that's our only ally there, and they are surrounded by some pretty crazy individuals.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think whether you like Israel, whether you loathe Israel, whatever, in that region, it is a binary choice. It is radical Islam or it is Israel. And if you believe in the Bible, if you believe in the Bible, it puts some ownership on helping Israel. If you believe in the Bible, and if you don't believe in the Bible, then you probably support all the countries surrounding Israel. Thank you for your call. There we go. I think I hung up on somebody. There it is, Ben. Go Trump, go USA. Somebody keeps saying USS Liberty. I think you should look up what the USS Liberty was. I'm not saying the USS Liberty should have been attacked. I'll say during that time frame, the USS Liberty was being used for nefarious purposes. I'm a Navy veteran. You can see that. I never want to see Americans attacked. But the same people that are saying USS Liberty are not saying anything about the Americans that were put on the deck of a ship with their hands over their head. Line 3, go.
Hey, Ben, this is Gene, QC Politics.
Yes, sir.
Just want to say no one ever likes war, but now that we're in this, let's not stop until it's done. We don't want to go back again in another 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this, Gene, question for you. Yeah. Somebody in the chat keeps bringing up USS Liberty. And for those that bring up the USS Liberty, out of the other side of the mouth, why don't they say Khobar Towers? Why don't they say the USS Cole? Why don't they say the 10 American sailors detained by Iranians? Why don't they say the 52 hostages held by Iran for 444 days? Why do they ignore that history? Why do they ignore that?
Because people choose to cherry pick the history they want
to meet their narrative, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Because I'll say this, USS Liberty, I know a lot about it. I've met one survivor from one crew member of the USS Liberty. He told me, and you can go and fact check this, that the USS Liberty was being ran by the NSA, which is a arm of Central Intelligence at the time. They were doing some signal intelligence gathering. There were lots of members on the crew that did not want to do that. And it was during this Arab-Israeli, I want to say 5 or 10 day war. Do I support what happened to the USS Liberty? Hell no. But I'm going to tell you right now, the NSA, for all the people that think our government's corrupt, that same corrupt government put the USS Liberty in harm's way. And no one during that time period, which Vietnam was going on, I believe it was 67 or 68, none of them will take ownership for that. At the same time, John F. Kennedy was killed, and they will blame the government for that, but they won't blame the government for putting the USS Liberty in harm's way. That's what I think.
No arguments on that. I'm actually going to have to look up the USS Liberty.
I believe it was 1968, 1969, something like that, just off the top of my head. But they were a quote research ship. And anytime the United States military uses the term research, that's nefarious. Well, that's some secret squirrel stuff. Right. Because I was on a couple of quote research ships. Thank you very much for the call, brother. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let me show you this for all the people that bet the warmongers. Yeah, okay. I can't keep reading text messages during this. Okay. If you want to call in, call in. I would love to talk to you. Love to talk to you. But texting and thinking that I'm going to reply is not happening. I can't do it. I am that dumb. I'm that dumb. For all the people that want to scream USS Liberty, let's scream this. Let's scream this. Let's go here. Iranian military released footage the moment the sailors were seized hostage. It's 10 years ago. Talk to me about this one. Research. Anytime the United States military says research and development, you've got to figure that one out. Right. I want you to figure that one out. And let's go here. USS. Let's go here. I want to see this one, what everybody thinks about this. Yeah, let's talk about this one real quick.
2000.
Let's go here. I think Iran might have had something to do with this.
The USS Cole, a United States Navy guided missile destroyer, was refueling in the Yemeni port of Aden when it was attacked by suicide bombers. The explosion ripped a hole in the ship's hull, killing 17 sailors and injuring 37 others. The attack was another blow delivered by the terrorist group Al-Qaeda in the lead-up to 9/11.
Al-Qaeda, huh?
In this video, we will take a closer look at the events leading up to the Cole bomb.
The Al-Qaeda thing, right? There we go.
Series of attacks. The most notable of these was the planning of what would become the 9/11 attacks. National Airport.
Yeah, there we go. Al-Qaeda. Where have I heard that name before? I wonder who pays those guys. Wonder who pays Al-Qaeda. That's an interesting timeline that they've got going on there. Let's go. I want to see. Let's see what we got here. Let's go here. Where is that? Let's grab a handful more calls, man. I love talking to people and finding out what they think about this because it's a. Let's go, James in Virginia. What do you got, James?
Ben, how you doing this morning? I want to tell you something. You are definitely not a CIA asset.
I'm too dumb.
You are what we call a we the people patriotic asset. Listen, Ben, what we're seeing in Iran this morning, America doing, is called a damn reckoning for all the payback and all the evil these people are doing. And that person that called in wanted to know why are we getting involved, or why did we get involved in World War II, and why did the boys down in Texas and Sam Houston get involved? What was happening with the Spanish government, Mexican government back in? But anyway, Ben, also I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody noticed, have we moved any warthogs over to the Iranian conflict?
Oh boy, that's I think those are for tanks, right? Those are tank killers.
Well, no, a warthog is my favorite weapon because it brings a reckoning. And the thing of it is, if they've got a squadron of warthogs over there, and they come up on those elite Iranian Royal Guards, they're going to say, "Oh my God, the gates of hell have just opened."
Good.
Ben, you have a good day, man.
Take care, brother. There we go. Let's go, James in Virginia. Great call from James. This is coming out of the I don't know the name of this website. Thank God. He might be dead. Might be dead. I don't know. Let's go right here. Line 2. What do you got, line 2? God bless you. Where are you calling
What's up, Ben? What's up, Ben? James, Marine Corps veteran. I just wanted to point out, too, I fought in Fallujah in Iraq, and I want to let everybody know the Iranians kill more U.S. soldiers than anybody in Iraq and Afghanistan.
You were in Fallujah?
Huh? Yeah, I was in Fallujah in 2004, and in the Ramadi in 2009.
Oh, boy. You saw you saw and did things that you don't want to talk about and I don't want to hear about on here. I work full-time as a veteran service officer, and I hear a lot of stories from that. I was stationed in England at the embassy support staff, and I deployed from December. Hold on. Let me see. I got a crappy little Navy Achievement Medal for deploying. I was with the Brits, so we had beer. It wasn't that bad. I was December 05 to April 06. Almost 20, what is that? 20 years ago, coming up to April. And I was only there for 6 months. I was what they called a individual augmentee is what I did. And I was with the Brits, and it wasn't that bad. I got a combat action ribbon because we had some small arms fire, but nothing compared to what you have done or anything like that. Let me ask you this. The Iranians funded so much of that stuff, and a lot of people are saying, God bless you for your service.
Very well. I did
they don't understand this, do they? There are so many people.
Absolutely not. They're stupid. People don't, unless you've been in the Middle East, most of these people around here, like Jimmy Dore and all these idiots, ain't up with a bunch of talking heads.
Yeah.
They know nothing about the Middle East. I mean, I physically, during reconnaissance mission, watched the Iranians plant car bombs. The Iranians is the ones that taught these people how to make bombs. They're the ones that gave them the shit to make the bombs. So most Americans that died in that war 20 years were Iranians, killed all them too. All us too. So, I mean, it wasn't just the embassy and all that shit. They killed thousands of us in the Middle East.
Let me ask you this, James. James, you call in all the time. How ironic is it to see the Iranian people dancing in the street for freedom while at the same time,
Donald Trump.
Yeah, while at the same time here in America, we will have millions of people in the United States protesting America in our own country.
Yeah,
how ironic is that?
To that last caller, everybody get tired of people saying we give the Jews all this money. We give NATO and all these other countries way more money than we give Israel. And what would you have us do? Let Muslims take over Israel, get their nuclear weapons, all our technology and shit, just let them have it? That's the stupid, most asinine thing I've ever heard about. These people understand nothing about military tactics nor foreign policy.
Let me ask you this, James. When you were there, how many people in that area, how many civilians over there came over and thanked you for your service? And how many kids did you give MREs to? I know you probably did.
Thousands. I lost count.
Isn't it amazing?
Piece of candy, it's amazing. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. One of the most ironic things that I say about America that is so true. Only in America can our troops be deployed and thanked by the countries we're helping, and then come back and be spit on by our own citizens.
Pretty much. That's how it works. We've been that way since Vietnam. My dad got spit on. He got home from Vietnam. So
I've heard that from a lot of veterans. I help a lot of Vietnam veterans. That number is dwindling because they're passing away. I've been able to help World War II veterans. I've been able to help Korean War veterans. I've been able to help Gulf War. I've been able to help.
I meant to tell you too. I saved like $250 for that charter program thing you sponsored.
You did? That is fantastic. Yeah. Good for you, man. Good for you. I had somebody call in the other day that saved $190 a month. They saved using Chapter up at the top here.
Yeah, Chapter.
$190 a month is a little bit of scratch, and it doesn't cost you anything to call them. It doesn't.
Hey,
brother, I appreciate you. You take care. Thank you for your service. Semper Fi, Marine. Semper Fi.
Semper Fi, bro.
So that guy's been to Fallujah, Ramadi. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Yeah. I found something for all of you military. Check them out right up here. Chapter. We're up our savings to $190,000. When we get to $500,000 savings, they're going to donate $10,000 of the savings to help a veterans organization of my choice. So, yeah, check them out. It's free. If you're on Medicare, make sure you're on the right program. You just heard it from James. He said they saved him $250. I want to show you something here that is pretty freaking ironic, and it's pretty amazing. Did you remember the other night, whenever the State of the Union address was going on, there was a Chief Warrant Officer 5 that was recognized at the State of the Union. Let me see if I can find this. It was, I mean, I have never met a Chief Warrant Officer 5. I think they're more rare than Bigfoot. in my honest opinion, let me see if I can find this. CW5 military, if I can find this. Let me see here. Eric Slover, I think was his name. Man, it's not coming up. They're a unicorn. I've never met a CW5, never. But that one was like his story or what happened to that guy was in. Let me see if I can find this. I know I did. I know I've got this somewhere. Let me go. Here, I'll pull this back up here real quick while we pull up some information. I know there's a lot to process right now. And I am did you see Donald staring at those two witches? Let's go here.
Want to go?
I don't know if this guy is dead, but there's rumors coming out. I don't know if anything's been confirmed yet.
Back now to Jennifer Griffin, Chief National Correspondent. Jennifer, what are you learning as the nation wakes up to this major combat operation that the Pentagon has dubbed Epic Fury?
Well, Griff, first I want to correct the record. I stated earlier that I was questioning how the U.S. was broadcasting in Persian into Iran at this time because, and I had stated that the Persian service had been let go at the start of the administration. But I have since learned that, in fact, the Persian service has been up and running ever since last summer. They were brought back during the 12-day war last summer, and the Persian service of VOA is broadcasting into Iran as we speak. We also have seen that there is a message in Persian from Reza Pahlavi, the son of the Shah, who is seen as a leader in exile, a potential future leader of Iran. And he has been speaking directly to the Iranian people. The president's message was very clear.
Okay, there's rumors coming out that this guy has been eliminated. Now, I don't know if that's going to change anything. I think one of the worst things we did in the Middle East was get rid of Saddam Hussein because he kept a lot of stuff under lock and key. Here's the one I wanted to show you right here. Here's the one I wanted to show you. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover. If you're in the military, tell me how accurate this is. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover. And we'll start at the top left. The fact that he is a CW5 in uniform and on duty means this is like a Bigfoot sighting. This Medal of Honor around here means he did the most heroic shit ever. This patch here on the left shoulder, that's I believe, Delta Force, hangs out with guys who do heroic shit all the time, but they didn't want anyone to know who they are. These stripes here at the bottom, I didn't know this, but each one of these means a 1-year deployment. This says been to dangerous places doing heroic shit for a long time. And then if you move me over here, let me move me. All the medals did heroic shit that should have been a Medal of Honor, but the officer couldn't find the thesaurus that day. Did more major heroic shit. Did some more heroic shit. Got wounded doing heroic shit. Did minor heroic shit. Been to a bunch of places doing heroic shit. And if you notice, he's standing on a walker. All the Democrats couldn't stand to understand how important this guy was, but he did. And I don't think the walker is necessarily for the injuries. I think it's because his balls are too heavy. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. Trent, you didn't go through anything like that. I don't know who Trent is. I don't know who Trent is. Trent, you should call in. Whoever Trent is, call in. Let's grab some more calls here, man. I love the calls talking about this and understanding how or not. Looks like Superman. Yeah, I agree. Let's go here. He couldn't stand without. Yeah, he had 4. I think he got shot 4 times. Let's go here. Do you support the here we go. Let's see here. I'll put a poll in the chat. Will Trump end this Iran regime? That Marine that called in, let's see here. The IRGC has already set 4 levels of replacements. God bless them. Absolutely. CW5, what does that say? I don't know what that is. Oh, here we go. CW5 Special Operations Aviation Regiment Night Stalkers. Whoa. Trump will end it all. I kind of think there's no reason that he takes his foot off the gas with what we're seeing. I don't see him. If you're a veteran, and post your branch of service in there. Post your branch of service in the chat. Let's go. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. And post your branch of service down there at the bottom. Call in. Love to talk to you. Specifically, what you think about what we're seeing unfold. Because this is going to get a little Western. This is going to get a little Western. Let's see here. I thought I saw something here. Okay. Let's go here. Open source intel is a great list and fix. Oh, my buddy's fixing fence. Keep them cows in. Let's see here. Iran's supreme leader is scheduled to deliver a speech. So he's not dead. Okay, so he's not dead if they're going to give a speech. Keir Starmer says British planes are in the sky today as part of a coordinator. Whoa, wait a second.
Our forces are active and British planes are in the sky today as part of coordinated regional defensive operations to protect our people, our interests, and our allies. Our forces are...
Interesting. You know what? I want to do this for a poll. Should we pull all troops out of every country? Should we just fart in the elevator and walk out? Should we pull all troops out of every country? That's going to be an interesting question. That's going to be one that will probably, here we go. This is Iran launching missiles at U.S. missiles, or Iran released footage showing missiles being fired in retaliation. So here. So Iran is actively showing this footage. They're actually, this is propaganda. Stay deployed keeps the problems away from home. That's the real answer. Oh, here we go. No, we got to keep people in those areas. The poll is open there if you think that we should pull all troops out. Here, let me see if I can try this again. I'll put another poll up there. Let's go here. Start a poll. Should we pull all troops back to the... I don't know about this. The more I think about it, I'm on the fence. The more I think about that. Okay. The Iranian leader speaking could be AI. That is a fact. That is an absolute fact. Here we go. Let's see here. Open source intel. Now alerts in Tel Aviv. Starmer has to protect the people in England. Yeah, that's his voting base. It's going to be like that in Dallas, Texas soon too. Israeli interceptors. Look at this. Hell, we might need these here. The poll's locked? No, it's not. The poll's not locked. You can vote on that. This is wait, let me go back there. Open source intel is a great site for up-to-date stuff. Keir Starmer, he's as that guy's bought and paid for. Iran's foreign minister. Oh, let's hear what NBC says. Oh God. Let the simping begin, I'm assuming. Let's go right here. It says Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini and President Massoud are alive. This is minutes ago.
Actually, I appreciate your comments there, and we do have a series of other questions I want to ask you. But just for clarity for our audience right now, can you confirm with specificity that the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is alive, and separately that the Iranian president is alive right now following these American and Israeli strikes?
As far as I know, yes, they are alive, and the head of judiciary as well, the head of the Speaker of Parliament as well. All high-ranking officials are alive. And the secretary of the National Security Council. So everybody is now in its position, and we are handling this situation, and everything is fine.
Actually, I appreciate your comments.
Do you believe this? Do you believe this? I think they would be celebrating it if he was not alive. Let's go here. Line 2. What do you got, line 2?
Hello.
Yeah, go right ahead. Line 2. What you got?
Hey, Ben, how you doing? This is Mark Wood. I'm in Kissimmee, Florida.
Good morning.
I'm ex-Marine, 80 to 83.
Semper Fi.
Hey, I love your show, buddy. Yeah, that chief warrant officer, that pilot, man, he is a badass. He, the chopper comes down with their nose up, and it was machine gun nest shooting at him. And he knew he had to turn that chopper around to the side so his door gunner could get that machine gun nest out, or his guys would have been fucking severely injured. So he's a badass. And then he told his co-pilot, buddy, you got the helm because I'm going down. I'm passing out.
It's really interesting that we saw 2 Medal of Honors awarded on live TV. And for somehow or another, the Democrat Party can poop on that rather than celebrating what those guys accomplished,
I tell you, ship them all out to Epstein's Island. Those people need to be sent out of the country. They're totally un-American, unpatriotic. They've got a duty to do it. I think they've committed a crime the way they're acting, like little children. And we're supposed to look up to them.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I never knew how many people hated America until President Trump was elected.
I hear you, brother. I got one daughter, one child. She's 38, a nurse, and she's woke, and I can't stand it. It's killing me. She hates Trump for no reason at all. She believed all the lies. I'm fighting with that.
Yeah, I agree. I hope she's okay after getting the vaccine, because I'm assuming she probably took that too.
She took every one, and our grandson had my grandson get all those shots too.
You better pray.
And if I opened my mouth, I was the bad guy. She's a nurse. I'm just a dumb country redneck.
Let me grab this other caller. Thank you, sir. Dawn, New York. What you got?
Hey, Ben, I woke up this morning to the news, and I have a grandboy, 20 years old, Fort Bragg jumper. So I didn't know if he deployed, so I became very concerned. I agree with everything that President Trump has done to free the Iranian people. But he did say casualties are to be expected, and I want to pray for all our troops in harm's way. I cried this morning and prayed for their safe return.
Thank you, Don.
And my grandson didn't deploy, so.
Let me grab this other one. Thank you, Don. God bless you. Keep those family members safe. Line 3, go right ahead. Line 3, go. You're dumb. Okay, there we go. It's easy to see sometimes, or easy to hear. There's a little thing right there on the page. When you call in, turn the audio down before you call in. Okay. Stop them there, or we stop them in our streets. I don't know if I trust our government to stop them in our streets right here. With Donald Trump in power, he has the capability to stop them over there. This is as serious as a heart attack. I have a son who became deranged in college. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot, aren't there? And let me grab some of these super chats that are rolling in here while you're talking. Line 3, God bless you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Mississippi. I grew up in Minnesota. I joined the Navy back when Iranians were going to the same schools I was in A school. And I was on a supply ship at the Gulf of Oman, supplying 3 different carrier task force when the
A new
Carter
video
tried
just into
that stupid move that failed miserably.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I first started thinking, you know, the Democrat Party don't know jack.
It's very different when you served during that time frame and saw fellow shipmates getting captured. So that's got to be an eye opener. Thank you for calling. Thank you for your service. God bless you. Let's go here. Line 3. Go.
Yes, sir. It's Greg from Ohio again.
Sure.
I'm over here in the Rumble chat. Boy, we're inundated with morons this morning, it seems. All I want to say is I back the president 100%. And God bless the military and all you military service people. Thank you for your service.
Well, man,
God
I really
bless
appreciate
America.
that. You know, here's the thing. The people that complain the most have probably never done anything. They've probably never done anything.
Well, my answer to most of them this morning is, what should we do? Wait till Iran nukes us? Is that the answer?
You know, I said before, the guy that called in just with all the questions, I was like, well, what's the answer? It's a binary choice in the Middle East.
Couldn't answer.
No, he couldn't. And refused to answer, just always came back with another question. And
his feelings came first.
Yeah, I hate to say it. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Thank you for calling, sir. I really appreciate it. God bless you.
God bless you, Ben.
There we go. For those of you that are screaming about all this bad stuff, I'll take you down a trip down memory lane. And the first one I'll give you right here. Here, let's go here.
After 30 days of unsuccessfully trying to get the American hostages out of Tehran, the government of the United States is now trying to get the deposed Shah of Iran out of this country. And there is no sign tonight that either problem is likely to be solved soon. Here's a report from diplomatic correspondent Ted Koppel.
There is only one nation that has publicly announced its willingness to receive the Shah, Egypt. But the Shah prefers not to accept that invitation, which places a new burden on the government of the United States.
We're not going to put a man into a rowboat and send him out beyond the continental shelf if he has no place to go. We have said that we are trying to assist him in finding a permanent location.
There are some options, a few doors, as one official here put it, which aren't closed all the way yet. But the same official added, there's not a hell of a lot of physical bravery out there. Can the United States keep the Shah? If it comes to that, said the official, we can't not keep him.
So they had 52 hostages for 444 days. For everybody that's forgetting that. Here.
A new video just into CNN. It's from the Iranian news agency, and it shows our American sailors being turned over to American authorities. These are the 10 Navy sailors whose boat drifted into Iranian waters, supposedly illegal waters. The Iranians took them into custody and held them overnight for nearly a day. You can see the sailors sitting there, and you can see the Iranians, I would suppose, looking at these Americans' passports.
One note about the video you're seeing there, and again, as you say, sourced to Iranian TV, that appears to be the moment of capture when those sailors were there on their knees, as you see in the video, with their hands up or their hands behind their head. Really not a pretty picture to see. I mean, I talked to a lot of guys in the military, and you can see from the expressions on those U.S. sailors' faces, they were not happy with the situation. From the very beginning, as you know, Carol, administration officials saying that there was nothing hostile about this act, no hostile intentions.
That right there is disgusting. That's a disgusting display of what happened. And everybody forgets this. I don't know why people forget this stuff or how they forget this. Here's another one for you. Let me show you this one for all of you that are saying, simping for Iran.
Let's go off the record. This year, June 25th fell on a weekend, but this date, June 25th, must not go unnoticed. It's the 20th anniversary of the vicious terror attack on Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia. Most of us may have missed the anniversary since it happened over the weekend, but I know at least 19 families were painfully aware of this anniversary. It's the date their loved ones serving us in uniform were murdered. 19 U.S. Air Force personnel died in that terrorist attack. More than 350 others were injured. And who did it? Hezbollah with a truck bomb. And they bragged about it. They were proud of it. Hezbollah is a terrorist group with a mission to destroy Israel, and frankly, if given the chance, us too. And do you know who arms Hezbollah? Where they get their money for terror? Iran. This past Friday, Hezbollah's...
There you go. So anybody that's simping for Iran, I saw somebody, Henry 58 says, I need to get somebody to screen my calls. Henry, I don't need a call screener. You're welcome to call in anytime. You won't. I know you won't. Have mommy dial the number for you. Tell her to hold the hot pocket and hold the phone up to your mouth. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. I'm happy to talk to anybody. Biden sent billions to Iran? Yes, of course he did. Let's go Bobby in Tennessee. What you got, Bobby?
Hey, do some of these people, do they not know history, the history of the United States and Iran? Iran is directly responsible for hundreds of maimed servicemen. Directly. They built the IEDs. They killed Americans. They killed Americans whenever they could. The only reason those 10 on the boat are alive because they used them as propaganda.
They needed money.
Yeah, and guess what? Just like anything else the Democrats do, that money made it full circle. It made it back to them. Part of it did anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that.
One day they're going to say, no more. The Democrat Party, the Democrat leadership are enemy of the state. Because they are. They hate our country.
I believe they hate, it's in their book that they all pray to and, get on the rugs for. That's what it is. And
yeah, remember?
Iran funds all of this stuff. They fund all of this. Oh, the Marine Barracks, 1983. Let me see if I can find that one. I think that's the other one. There was Khobar Towers and let me see. Marine Barracks
in Lebanon.
Lebanon. It was in Lebanon.
Yep.
Okay, Lebanon, 1983. I'll see if I can pull that up too, man.
Yeah.
This
and
is
that's
interesting.
Not far removed. That's not very far removed from when in 79, when they took over with the help of England. Believe it or not.
You're absolutely
because
right.
That's where the mullahs were hiding. They were hiding them, and then they got their opportunity.
I agree. Thank you for calling, Bobby. I appreciate it, man. It's good to get a different perspective on things. Appreciate you. Let me go here. Let me see if I can find this. This is a good friend of mine, Colin. Check this out. Let me show you what Colin talks about here. He's a historian, a literal historian. Let's see here.
A little more than 40 years ago, in 1982, U.S. Marines began a peacekeeping mission as part of a multinational force in war-torn Lebanon. The Marines were to maintain a visible presence in the capital of Beirut in hopes that it would deter further bloodshed amongst the various warring factions and militias fighting for control of the country. So how did violence in the area operation escalate?
Let's see if I can grab this.
What was the result of the bloodshed?
Let me grab this call here real quick. Line 2, go. Line 2, go.
Hey, did you ever see the interview with Donald Trump and Rhonda? I forget her last name, but it was not aired. Donald Trump said, we lost a chance when we did not go in to take our boys back in the, back then in the 70s, Iran-Contra affair.
I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. We should have probably allowed Patton to go and end communism in Russia, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Appreciate you calling. I think that's probably why they got rid of Patton, to be honest with you. I think that's probably why they got rid of him, because he wanted to do that.
Bloodshed. And what happened to the Marines in Beirut? Let's try and find out.
Hello, I'm Mike Joberg, Marine Corps veteran.
So I'm going to skip ahead. Let's go a little bit ahead right here.
The conflicts in Lebanon that preceded Marine involvement in 1982 were complex, with the roots of violence tracing back centuries. The immediate cause of the fighting in the 1980s that precipitated Marine involvement directly stemmed from the Arab-Israeli conflicts of 1948 and 1967.
There you go. Arab-Israeli conflicts. And I believe they've got an image here. Here we go. There's the Marine barracks right there. Iran. I don't know what you think about this, but this could be payback for years and thousands of deaths. I said deaths. Let's see here. Apparently, here we go. Let's go here. Annual executions, recent years. Iran killed 853 people in 2023. In 2024, they killed 972. 2025, they killed 1,000. Since 1975, they've killed 20,000. 2026, mass protests are happening right now. Shia militias from Iraq and Syria killed at least 36,500 people over 48 hours. That's more than the Democrat Party does at a Planned Parenthood rally. Total internal deaths since 1979, 60,000. Interesting. And there are people who are going to defend these clowns. They are going to defend them. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. I'd love to get your take on this. Because what we're seeing now, oh boy. More indictments, Don Lemon church assault, good. Woman who falsely accused Duke lacrosse players of what? Somebody said Benny Johnson reported that the Ayatollah is dead. Must be true. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find this. Line 3. Go right ahead, line 3.
Hello?
Yeah, go right ahead. Line 3, go.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that supposedly the U.S. embassy in Saudi Arabia was bombed by Iran, and the Supreme Court that ordered all the civilians to be killed, he was killed, and so was the right hand of Ayatollah.
Yeah, I saw that one of his major generals or leaders or something along those lines was terminated. Absolutely. And I'm okay with every damn thing about that. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And the Supreme Justice that ordered the deaths of the civilians, he was killed also.
Good. I have no problem
and
with
Saudi
that.
Arabia said they stand with the U.S. now since they bombed them over there.
Yeah. I can.
Keir Starmer said, Trump, stop.
Well, you know, that's a strongly worded text message, I'm assuming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you for calling. God bless you. There we go. This is happening right now. Let's see what this is. Let's see here. This is happening right now. Looks peaceful. Hold on. I'm let's see here. So Iran's supreme leader is killed. Benny says he's dead.
The Ayatollah Khomeini is dead, according to multiple reports out of Iran. These are preliminary reports. We are waiting for them to be officially confirmed. But Israeli news sources cite that there is a high probability that the religious dictator of Iran, the Ayatollah Khomeini, who has been in power since the Iranian revolutionary takeover of the nation, is...
Wait a second. It sounds a lot like What If, but according to the thumbnail... Okay. Sounds... I'm misled. I still can't figure out if that's true or not. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Love to talk to you. Give me your best question. Not confirmed, but runs with it anyway. Well, yeah, that's what you can do. I'll say this, and I think this is a very good time to play this clip here. This is what needs to happen. And you can love this guy. You can hate him. I don't care what your opinion is on this guy. I really don't. Benny's a drama clickbait queen. Some people do. Yeah, some people think that. And I'm starting to notice it too.
We have to excise this cancer from our movement right now. It's our movement, okay? It's ours. We built it. Some of us ran for office on it. We knocked on doors for it. We donated to it. We gave speeches for it. We showed up at events. We showed up at rallies. We showed up at every single parade possible. I'm trying to get people to support this cause of freedom and liberty. We are in a really dangerous spot. I have never, in my 10 plus years now doing this, I've seen it bad, but I've never seen it this bad. This portion of people who claim to be part of our movement and our cause, who think it's edgy or cool to talk about how much they hate the Jews. And just so we're crystal clear, so you can shut the up right now about this bullshit. I am not talking about foreign affairs or a foreign government, the government of Israel. You don't like Netanyahu? That is absolutely your right. Make the case, bro. I'm also not talking about censorship. You want to go out there and talk about how much you hate people who are, do your thing as long as you're not breaking the law. What I'm talking about are people who are trying to infiltrate our movement and destroy us. And the lib media is gleefully playing along, who every single thing has become about the Jews, not Israel. Do you understand these people are fucking insane? Do you know where this goes? You know where this has always gone? And it is death and destruction. And when you have a choice between civilized man and the demon savages, there's only one choice.
There's only one choice? I believe he's right. Let's see here. The only side of this conflict to be on is the side that doesn't chant death to America. I'm giving you that one.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shagalaka.
I agree with that. Real bits. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shagalaka.
Beirut is why I joined. I had friends there. I'm going to give you this one. Eagles. Somebody sent me this new hat. You like the new hat? Freedom with an eagle. Look at that. I think I like that hat. Anytime I touch the hat, it makes that noise. Watch. It's got a little speaker in the hat. Check it out. You like that? It's got a little speaker built into the hat. It's pretty cool. Beirut is why I joined. I had friends there. God bless you, sir. God bless you, man. Let's grab a couple more calls here. I love this. Lines are open 615-475-7864. Cool hat. Yeah, anytime I touch it, it makes the noise. Line 2, I had to turn it off. Line 3, go ahead.
Yes, this is Will. There's something you should know about your Navy veterans. My aunt went and fought in Washington because my dad died of a thyroid from Agent Orange during the Vietnam War. Ask them who fought for them to make sure all these Agent Orange and Navy veterans got their money. She fought for them with, I think it was George W. Bush. And have a nice day.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your call. God bless you. Great call. Good. Thank you for your service. Trolling Ben, I love it. I live it. Chantel. Thank you, Chantel. Thank you. The Khomeini's dead. Benny Johnson said so. Obviously, right? I mean, that's truth right now. That's the truth. Again, why are we just waiting then? Ben Dykes, you have me wound up today. Full-blown MAGA. Why shouldn't you be wound up? Let's see here. Uh-oh. This is new. This is an interesting take. Let's go here. I want to see this. This is a very interesting take on the don't forget Benghazi. Benghazi is not to be forgotten.
there was an accusation that there was a screaming match.
It was an accusation, Jesse. It definitely, Secretary Clinton definitely lost her cool.
What happened?
Representative Mace was pushing her. I think the question was something along the lines of her basically not doing anything regarding the trafficking, or it got into a pretty heated exchange. And the secretary did lose her cool, and they were yelling at each other. And then she kind of realized that I think it was being recorded and kind of collected herself again. But that was not an exaggeration by Representative Mason. That will come out. And I think it was stupid for their spokespeople to deny that.
Yeah, we're going to see that video on Monday. Was Representative Mace being respectful? Was she also just getting under her skin? Like, what was the dynamic?
I think Representative Mace has taken this obviously very seriously because she is a victim herself. But I think the aspect was that Representative Mace kept trying to cut it and say, okay, we'll go to Rep. Luna now. And then Secretary Clinton was still obviously visibly upset and wanted to continue arguing. And so eventually it continued forward. But I think the whole idea that someone would give the impression, especially being that they were around an intelligence asset, and you can see that you just presented evidence of that, that they shouldn't maybe answer about whether or not they were compromised, were state secret.
I agree with that. I can't wait to see the footage of Hillary yelling at different people. That's going to be amazing. If you want to donate to the show, you can do it right here with the Cash App. A lot of the money I get from veterans goes to super chats for and memberships to veterans with service dogs and things like that. I've got to show you something here real quick while I'm going to play this. I've got to give a big shout out to some people that have really made a difference. Okay, so if you don't know, there is a company called Cattle Dog Cookie Company. Cattle Dog Cookie Company. And they have partnered with me to help some veterans. Cattle Dog Cookie Company. They're a dog treat company. And for every person that orders dog treats from the link on my channel, they're all natural. They do a buy one, ship one. Joe Dimmitt just put the link there. Thank you, Joe. They do a buy one, ship one for every person that uses that link. They ship one. And the names, they sent me a list of names. And then what they do, whatever you buy, they donate. So if you buy 5 bags, they send me 5 bags. And someone pissed in his Wheaties this morning. I have no idea. I don't care about your Wheaties or your feelings. You can check both of those at the door. But what they did, they sent me a list of the names of people that bought stuff. Shannon Cotton, Ward, Arkansas. Letty Gavlik did 2 orders. Buellton, Colorado. Richard down in Bossier City, Louisiana. Shanna in Bucharest, Ohio. Mike Elkins in Franklin, New Hampshire. Linda Stone, Meyer, Arizona. Cassandra in North Carolina. Shaylin, New Johnsonville, Tennessee. Paul in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tracy in Ripon, Wisconsin. Jason in Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. Says, we thank all the patriots that have taken part in the buy one, ship one, or buy one, send one to a veteran. I will keep the BOSO, buy one, ship one, going with no end date. We love our veterans. Have a family full of veterans. So that's what they're doing. Buellton, California. Oh, sorry. Gotcha. I'm sorry. I'm retarded. Redneck from Lower Alabama. Guys, this has been a great show this morning. I really appreciate your time. I am going to take my beautiful wife to lunch. And GBN announced Ayatollah is ready for his autopsy. I want to leave you with one statement. There will be more people the same people protesting the death of the Ayatollah, if he is dead, are the same people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. The same people that will be protesting the death of the Ayatollah were the same people that were celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. You know it as good as I do. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. There's the link in the chat for the Cattle Dog Cookie Company. That being said, this is the Ben Dykes Show. Thank you for tuning in. Smash like, subscribe. Even to all the trolls, you can hate me. Gotcha. I loved all of you.